2013. Good afternoon. I'm very glad to congratulate the class of 2013 on a landmark day in your lives and careers as public servants. When you entered this program 2 years ago, each of you came with a unique set of experiences, ideas, and goals. You brought your diverse backgrounds from across the country and across the world here to Little Rock because you shared a common passion for helping others. And you wanted to gain the knowledge and skills to put that passion to work. Your experiences over the last 2 years have been really remarkable. You've traveled to 23 countries on 5 continents. You've also made an impact here in Arkansas by researching the causes of homelessness, supporting the sustainable business community, and studying food delivery programs in partnership with Governor Beebe's campaign to end childhood hunger. While your projects were impactful, so were the lessons you learned in the classrooms from our talented faculty members at the Clinton School. I'm very grateful to the faculty and staff for their efforts, and I offer my true congratulations to your families, your mentors, and your friends who've supported you throughout the program. I'd like to offer a special thank you to my friend Rahm Emanuel for serving as today's commencement speaker. His career in public service is truly inspiring and a reminder of how we can turn good ideas into action for the benefit of others. That's what this school is all about, and I'm so glad all of you were able to be a part of it. Congratulations and best of luck.
Good afternoon. On behalf of our students, faculty, staff, and our terrific volunteers, welcome to the Clinton School graduation. For the mothers and grandmothers who are here today, happy Mother's Day tomorrow. May I please ask, with the exception of those who are tweeting this ceremony, to silence your cell phones. The hashtag is UACS 2013, and I encourage you to tweet away. From a personal perspective, I am very happy to welcome Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel back to Little Rock. Our friendship began when Rahm came here and played a major role in Bill Clinton's successful presidential election in 1992. We're also very glad to have Dr. Michael Moore, the Vice President for Academic Affairs at the University of Arkansas System, with us and participating in today's program. I thank Dean Susan Hoffpower for her leadership and support. She has guided the school through comprehensive curriculum review and curriculum planning and has done so openly, fairly, thoroughly, and with class. I could not have or ask for a better co-pilot. A special thanks to Nikolai DePippa, who is coordinating today's ceremony and who directs America's Best College Speaker Series. Just check out the 2011-2013 speakers on the back of your program. I also want to recognize those who brought items and made contributions to the van, which provides supplies for Central Arkansas's homeless. At the suggestion of then student, now alumnus Nicholas Hall, we began collecting items for a local charity at Commencement. Since we started in 2010, the Volunteers in Public Schools, Children's Hospital, and our house have been the recipients of this generosity. You all just think, if every high school and college graduation incorporated giving into its program, what a positive difference we could make at the local level. America could restock its food pantries, deliver new supplies for kids in disadvantaged schools, and like today, provide needed, important supplies for the homeless. We think about these things because giving happens every day at the Clinton School. And the class of 2013 has certainly left a significant footprint all over Arkansas, the nation, and the world. Through your Clinton School field service, you've given over 25,500 hours to others, many of whom are the least among us. Because of her commitment to excellence and always looking for new ideas, the very talented Marie Lindquist is well on her way to making Clinton School field service education the model for the nation. As I have said before, and will proudly say again, field service is the crown jewel of our program. It is what uniquely separates us from more traditional graduate studies in public administration, public affairs, and public policy. This year, Clinton School students had the experience of meeting the diplomatic corps, the Clinton Foundation trustees, and world leaders from Club de Madrid. Graduates Gina Lopez from New Orleans and Jordan Abel from Miami represented us and nurtured our ongoing partnership with the Blavatnik School of Government at Oxford. When graduate Trish Flanagan from St. Louis first enrolled in the concurrent MBA MPS program, she may not have predicted that her Walton College MBA team would win the MIT Clean Energy Prize for its project on social panel efficiency. That resulted, ladies and gentlemen, in a $150,000 cash prize from MIT and another $100,000 from the Department of Energy. That is a big, big deal. When graduate Laura Crosby from Boca Raton, Florida, set foot in Indonesia on her international service project, she became the first Clinton School student to have visited all 7 continents. Yes, she has been to Antarctica. And when graduate John Volertson from the small community of Parthenon, Arkansas, population 83, was selected as a Presidential Management Fellow finalist. He became the 4th Clinton School student in 4 years to receive that award, and you bet it's all right to clap because that is a big deal. Individually and collectively, class members have distinguished yourselves, and no one should be more prouder today than Admissions Director Alex Thomas, who once again is enjoying the fruits of his labor. From empowering women businesses in Ghana to filming a powerful documentary in Nepal, from a first-ever assessment of Arkansas food programs to supporting social entrepreneurs through the Ashoka Network, from helping young victims of Uganda's civil war to developing a science curriculum for students in rural Thailand, from using sports as an outlet for conflict resolution in Israel to conducting health impact assessments in Australia, from the Desmond Tutu Peace Center and the Children's Radio Foundation in South Africa to the World Wildlife Fund in Turkey and the World Bank in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, you made a substantial impact. You were on the Clinton School team which won the South Regional and finished 2nd in the National Policy Solutions competition. During your 2 years here, you were guided, supported, trained, and influenced by a dedicated and devoted faculty. No one knows or understands program evaluation better than Dr. Al Bavon. It's all right. Mark my words, for the rest of your lives and wherever you may go, you will appreciate that Dr. Bavon was your professor. The Clinton School Center on Community Philanthropy radiates with success. From field work to her scholarly work on issues of race and philanthropy, Dr. Charlotte Williams' name is synonymous with academics for the real world. Dr. Ellen Fitzpatrick is taking our international program to a higher level. She and her team are developing quality long-term partnerships, not only with colleges and universities in Arkansas, but with organizations all over the world. We now proudly have a Clinton School International Fellow and a Peacework International Fellow. Dr. Warigia Bowman's scholarship about rebuilding confidence in Egyptian governance and the recent election in Kenya are just 2 of the many examples of the diverse personal experiences she brings to the classroom and generally and generously shares with our students and our community. Every day, I am grateful to John DePippa for his Clinton School teaching. Dean DePippa has been with the school since day one, and we couldn't have developed a concurrent law degree without him. Next year, he will teach our new Foundations of Public Service course, and there's no one anywhere better to inaugurate it. The Class 7 gift to Little Rock's new children's library is most thoughtful and is the first class gift relating to the school's community service. And for that, I thank you. That was a wonderful gift. But I also think it is a well-deserved tribute to Don Ernst, whose special talents of teaching and mentoring are comparable to the many successes of this innovative new library, which he leads and which Clinton School alum Emily Fisher helped plan. Although he could not be here, Dr. Arvind Singhal continues to play a big role for us, and we thank him. We recognize Dr. Christy Standifer, who has spent the past year serving as a Fulbright Fellow in Albania, and we certainly value professionals like Mayor Mark Stodola, Fred Scarborough, Tom Peterson, David Sink, and others who share their time and talent with us as adjunct professionals. One of the books we used in the curriculum, one of the texts, is titled, and often cited, is titled Getting to Outcomes. And as people know, I'm big on outcomes and results. But that actually is a good way to begin the introduction of today's speaker. Finance Director of the 1992 Clinton campaign, Clinton White House staff, successful business person, congressman, congressional leadership, President Obama's first White House Chief of Staff, Mayor of Chicago, two famous brothers, one of whom has just written a book, wonderful wife, three great children, tough as nails, heart of gold, champion of the middle class, says what he thinks, on occasion with unfiltered language, and works harder and smarter than anyone I've ever known. One story, and Rahm, it's not about Billy lecturing you when you were playing basketball with 13-year-old Blake Rutherford in our driveway. I'm not going to tell that story. But during one of the darkest days of the Clinton presidential campaign, when a large number of staffers were convinced the effort was on life support, there was a night meeting at the headquarters. The discussion was overwhelmingly doom and gloom. Finally, after about an hour, when most everyone was convinced the sky was indeed falling, Rahm, who had not said a word, stood up, and as he headed out of the room, he looked at the group and asked, "Are you through?" And someone responded and said, "Yes, but where are you going?" And Rahm said, "For all you whiners and complainers, you can sit here, criticize, and talk about what's wrong, but I've got work to do and fundraising calls to make." To which another person replied, "But Rahm, it's 10 o'clock. It's too late to call people." And with a smile on his face, Rahm turned and said, "It's only 8 o'clock in California, and I've got plenty of time, and all of you should get back to work too." With a long record of success to prove it, Rahm Emanuel is a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the mayor of the great city of Chicago, the Honorable Rahm Emanuel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm going to call him once Dean Rutherford, and then I'm done because it will always be Skipper to me. So there it is. I've done it. Thank you, Dean Rutherford, for that introduction. It's times like that you wish your parents were here because you know your mother would be proud and your father would be amazed. So thank you. I do also want to say on behalf of my family, thank you for cleaning up what I actually said to my fellow colleagues in the campaign headquarters. To Dean Rutherford, Dean Hoffpower, distinguished guests and graduates, it's an honor to be with you on this important day here at the Clinton Day and the Clinton School Day of Public Service, and for these extraordinary 34 young people and the graduates. Let's give them a hand also for what they've done today. It's extraordinary. Now, I was not much older than these graduates when I left Chicago for Little Rock, taking an office in a paint store to work for then Governor Bill Clinton's presidential campaign. Let's be honest, it was a bit of a culture shock when I came down here to the people of Little Rock. They sent a Jewish kid from Chicago who danced ballet to a place where everyone loves Razorback hogs. So while I don't have a degree from this prestigious institution, I'm a graduate of another Clinton school, the Clinton School of Hard Knocks. I came to Little Rock more than 2 decades ago, literally 20 years ago. You came here less than 2 years ago. But we both have President Clinton to thank. It is because of him that we received an education of a lifetime. President Clinton could not be with us today, but his legacy is everywhere we look. I want to thank him for giving me the opportunity to speak to you today and for creating this wonderful school of public service. As I said, I left Arkansas about 20 years ago. I never thought I would be asked to speak to such an accomplished group, or that I would be speaking to you as the mayor of the city of Chicago, my home. I know that Skip would not have imagined it. I don't think Billy Rutherford would have imagined it, and she might have shuddered at the thought, given what I used to say around the kitchen table at their home. Billy, I haven't forgotten your hospitality on the campaign. I was housed at their home, and since Skip brought it up, I haven't forgotten the lessons you've taught me after that pickup game of basketball with Blake. I now know that basketball and bad language do not mix, so I've given up basketball. The cast of characters I joined in Little Rock was nowhere near as accomplished, worldly, or diverse as the group of graduates that are here today. I remember the kinder folks here in Little Rock calling us then eccentric, and the more candid folks used words that Billy would not approve at the House. You may remember, be familiar with a few of the veterans of that campaign. There was a Greek guy called George with a last name no one could pronounce, a Cajun named Carville no one could understand. There was a Bagala with red hair and a beard and now has neither. And James always used to say, never let Republicans put us under their thumb, which is why all of us are shocked why he married Mary Madeline at that point. I will say, now all of us are a little older, and I will tell you a funny story. They all came to be with me the first Friday I was mayor after getting inaugurated. And here was this young crowd, the whippersnappers we were called. We were at a restaurant. George, to read the wine list, had to put his glasses on. James could not hear a single word anybody said. Paul was complaining about his knees the whole time. I will not tell you what I was complaining about, but I can't imagine that 20 years ago we were the young whippersnappers, given we had all the ailments of a bunch of old guys sitting at that dinner. But what we learned from the campaign and from each other and from the candidate, we have carried with us every step of the way and every day since. And I will tell you this, not a day goes by and not a week goes by that all four of us don't one way or another call each other and still talk to each other every day. So when you receive your degree today, remember that your education here is not over. Hold on to the friends you have made at the Clinton School. You will lean on them, and you will continue to learn from them for the rest of your life. There is a reason they call these ceremonies commencements. They mark the end of one journey and the beginning of another journey. Treasure that diploma, but also the people who've helped you earn it. Sure, your name is on it, but you did not get here by yourself. As President Clinton often said, if you ever see a turtle on a fence post, you know one thing: he didn't get there on his own. Somebody had to put him here. Or, as a wise woman said in fewer words, it takes a village. So thank the people who helped you get here. Take a moment right now to applaud the parents, the siblings, the teachers, the preachers, the spouses, and the mentors who helped you become the graduates of the Clinton School. When Skip first asked me to speak, he said something about delivering a call to action. And I cannot think of a better call to action into public service than what President Clinton said when he gave his first of 3 New Covenant speeches. In that speech, he called for a new covenant, grounded in a very old idea that all Americans have not just a right, but a responsibility to rise as far as their God-given talents and determination can take them. The new covenant paid equal attention to obligations and opportunities, to rights and responsibilities. His vision was based on a government that offered more empowerment and less entitlement, government that was leaner and not meaner. The new covenant avoided the old battles between the left and right by building a bridge beyond them. The cynics said this new candidate and this new covenant were naive. But Governor Clinton always had the right response. He would talk about the people of Arkansas. There was no Arkansas miracle, but there were a lot of miraculous people in Arkansas. And because of them, our schools are better, our wages are higher, our factories are busier, our water is cleaner, and our budget is balanced. To carry those gains to every state in America, Governor Clinton called upon one group directly: young people. He challenged them from the first day of the campaign and on his first day in office. He urged them to act on your idealism by helping troubled children, by keeping company with those in need, and reconnecting torn communities. And America's young people answered his call in record numbers, and they continue to. President Clinton made sure that service was an option for more than a select few, providing support for graduates to pay down student loans as they served. By partnering with community organizations, passionate graduates were placed where they could accomplish the most. Many of the graduates today are products of that vision as veterans of AmeriCorps and Teach for America. Those initiatives were an important part of an incredible presidency, a presidency that created 22 million jobs while balancing the budget, a presidency where 10 million more children received health care, a presidency where welfare rolls were cut in half, and half the children that were on welfare with their families were no longer living in poverty. It was a path to independence rather than dependence. Or, as I promised the graduates earlier when we were talking back, I will now do it as President Clinton would say. This is a big deal. A really big deal. We created 22 million jobs. Our budget was balanced. Jobs were growing. The deficit was coming down. 10 million less kids were living in poverty than when we started. We didn't have that in hope, but this is a big deal. That is pathetic. That was the only thing I've said that's gotten applause. I just want you to know that. I used to do that. I feel okay because I used to do that in front of him, make him laugh, that if he had heard that I just did that here, he's going to kill me. Really, I love it. This is such a big deal to be here with you. I wish I had you as a speaker once, Rahm. Hillary can't believe it. All right, that's it. I could do this whole thing like that. I'm not gonna. And I now know that I just saw that there's a TV camera back there and I'm in trouble. That's an impressive legacy. And today, hold on. Okay, that's an impressive legacy, and today it becomes part of your own. Now, I know you have already heard and done wonderful things. I've heard from Skip about your work at the Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families, Governor Mike Beebe's No Kid Hungry campaign, and the Arkansas Women's Foundation. You have also lived a lesson President Clinton explained at his first inauguration. He said there is no longer a division between foreign and domestic. The world economy and the world environment and the world AIDS crisis and the world's arms race, they affect us all. You saw that firsthand in 21 countries on 5 continents, working with Desmond Tutu's Peace Center, Vital Voices, the World Bank, and many other institutions and countries. The Clinton School has provided you opportunities to serve and learn in communities across the world. But the moment you walk across the stage today, those opportunities become obligations. And as mayor of Chicago, I have some humble advice for how to meet those obligations. Come work in our cities. There is no better place for you to put your education to work and no greater need of your gifts. Justice Brandeis once called states the laboratories of democracies. But today, in my view, cities are the crucibles of policy, as our mayor of Little Rock, I think, who is here with us, would testify to. I believe this century will be known as the century of the city, defined by those 100 cities that drive the global economic growth, culture, and ideas. From Shanghai, New York, London, they will be part of that story. But a city like Chicago has to hustle and think harder to be for our spot on that list. To reinvent our city, we need to re-energize government and to rethink what it should and should not do in the future. To rebuild our roads, our runways, and our rails, we need creative partnerships between the public and private sector. To be a pioneer in ideas and innovation, we need new ways to welcome the best and the brightest from around the world. To match the skills of young people with the needs of a modern economy, we need to transform our community colleges. And most of all, to reach our potential as a city, we need to provide every child in every community with a world-class education, no matter their background and no matter their zip code. We are confronting each of these challenges in the city of Chicago. To see them through, we need the passion of young people like you to come to our cities. We need people who put the commitment to public service above political ideology. Because if we are fixed on the same old debates and ways of doing things, we will continually fail. It's that simple. And as President Clinton used to say, the first sign of insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Wherever you serve, your success will be tied to your ability to adapt. Those who make change work for them rather than against them will make the biggest difference. So make change your ally, not your enemy. Whether in this country or abroad, in Chicago or Shanghai, your success will be shaped by being open to what you don't know today. Your openness to different ideas and different approaches will make you a better professional, a better person, and a better partner. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. Like you, I achieved many things at a young age. But in my early 30s, I had a dream job about working in the White House for a president I believed in. But the truth is that it may have, and I'm not saying it did, but it may have gone to my head just a little bit. Youth and success can be a toxic mix. When I arrived in Washington, I probably shot my mouth off a few too many times. I probably picked a few too many fights, and I think you know by now you can strike the word probably. Before I knew it, my dream job was hanging by a thread. I was almost fired. I was lucky that I was only demoted. It felt terrible. And here I was thinking that I had screwed up the biggest opportunity of my life. But I didn't give up, and I didn't give in, and I didn't quit. I dug deep. I literally refused to leave. I just kept showing up for work at the White House. In those uncertain days, they never checked your ID, so I just kept going. I could never have imagined that I would work my way back to being the senior advisor to President Clinton, where my office was just a few feet from the Oval Office. And yes, we do measure the distance between our offices and the President's Oval Office. I never could have imagined that I would serve as President Obama's Chief of Staff at that time, or have the privilege to speak to you as the mayor of the great city of Chicago. At the time, I just tried to come back from that failure and learn a little humility and learn a little lesson. And with your education here at the Clinton School of Public Service, you have listened to leaders in many important fields. You have had a chance to apply their lessons in the field and work alongside them. But what you learn from a campaign or a classroom never provides the complete view. Intellect and insight often come second to persistence and resilience. You will learn more from your setbacks than from your successes. It's the deep valleys along your journey that help you appreciate the peaks you achieve as you have achieved today. You don't need to take those lessons from me. Take them from the comeback kid himself, President Clinton. But what he has proven time and again is his ability to become a better public servant by learning a lesson from each setback. One of President Clinton's most impressive qualities is this: he always finds something he can learn from everyone and every experience he meets. I still recall him telling all of us about the insights of an immigrant doorman he met at a New York hotel. insights he wanted reflected in the crime bill I actually worked on and helped pass. He used to say that even with his education from Georgetown, Oxford, and Yale, one of the most important lessons he learned was from his grandfather, who ran a country store. Even in those segregated times, his grandfather served everyone, black and white, and he treated them all with dignity. And as he would say, my grandfather taught me to look up to the folks that others look down on. So remember that the Clinton School has given you greater insight, but also greater responsibility to use your blessings for others. Remember that public service is a sacred trust. It will require sacrifice for you and your families. It is a difficult journey, but in my experience, there is none that is more rewarding. It has been my great honor to be with you and your families today. It will be my great honor to follow your success in the years to come and to read about it. And the covenant that President Clinton carried from Little Rock to Washington and the world has become yours to make anew. Thank you, good luck, and congratulations.
On behalf of the faculty, it is my honor to certify the candidates for the Master of Public Service. Will all the candidates who are to receive the Master of Public Service degree please rise and remain standing? Dean Rutherford, I certify to you that those candidates who have completed all of their academic requirements are entitled to receive their degrees.
Now, by the virtue of the authority vested by law in the Board of Trustees of the University of Arkansas System, I confer upon each of you the respective academic degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto. I also offer my sincere congratulations.
You may now take your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left.
It is now time for the graduates to take the stage for the presentations of their master's hoods.
Jordan Zachary Abel. Toden Apara Afalabi. Stephen B. Bailey. Russell A. Carey. Maggie Elizabeth Carroll. Jake Coffey. Laura Helen Crosby. Mark Allen Eastham. Patricia Lavery Flanagan. Leslie Miller Harris. Francinette A. Herrera. Bert Hicks. Nathan Jessen. Katie Longino. Gina Melissa Lopez. Stanley Burford Luker. Matthew Thomas Lyon. Catherine Ann Milligan. Poppy Lucien Muntumosi. Ekpat Nimkolrat. Dylan L. Perry. Andrea Denise Price. Veena Rangaswamy. Rebecca M. Scissors. Yana Janelle Louise Scott. Sydney Kathleen Shearer. Brittany Lynn Sink. Christine Lynn Sumner. Billie Jean Thomas. Jillian Ann Underwood. Kellen Ross Utek. And John E. Bollertson.
between this cookie and Rahm Emanuel, this has got to be a fun graduation. That was it. Mr. Mayor, thank you for being with us. Mayor Emanuel, Mayor Stodler, thank you for joining us. Rahm, I do appreciate you making the effort to be with us today, and it means a lot to not only the students and the staff, faculty here, but to our family, and we're honored to have you back. Thank you, Dr. Moore. Special thanks to the Clinton School staff who helped our new graduates in so many ways. Now, as many of you know, I don't text very much. I got this tweeting stuff down, but I don't text very much. In fact, I probably haven't sent as many texts this year as some of you have done today. But in the spirit of texting, and my family would be stunned with this, and are going to be stunned with this, because they know I don't text. A little frightened, as Dr. Moore said. Let me offer this message as a farewell to Class 7, the class of 2014. You know, I was too worried about texting. TFLMS, 2 great years with you. May ESH always prevail over FUD. I worked on this. I want you. May you ALOTBSOL and consistently look out for a PIN. Maintain a GSOH and TOPCA KUTGW. After all, YOLO. AMBW and TYVM for being part of our program. Your achievements here were VWD. HAGD. And I'll be following your post-Clinton School lives with genuine personal interest to see what PANS comes your way. From the more texting than I've done ever. From the Arkansas Delta to the White House, from the halls of government in Kenya to refugee relief efforts in Egypt, from the Walmart and Walmart Family Foundations to the State Department, Clinton School alumni are doing some incredible things. For the class of 2013, it is now your time and your turn, and I wish you the very best of success. Would everyone please stand for the recessional, which is the Clinton School alma mater, written by 2011 graduate David Watterson, who is now with the Music National Service in San Francisco. It is performed by members of the St. Mark Baptist Church Choir of Little Rock. I would ask the audience to remain in your places until all the stage participants, followed by the graduates, have exited the room. Please then join us for a reception in the adjacent foyer. Now, David Watterson's We Will Build the Bridge.